This video is intended to discuss the reality of the situation involving Elon Musk owning Twitter. Now, that's the reality of the situation. That's the fact. The fact of the matter is that Elon Musk does own Twitter right now. You could go on Twitter right now. It's got more activity on Twitter than ever before. Twitter is more popular as a platform right now than it has ever been in the history of Twitter. I'll say it again. Right now, Elon Musk owns Twitter. This is a fact. And the other fact is that the platform is seeing more users on the platform than ever before. Who guessed it that the richest person in the world would own old, sort of outdated company, social media platform like TikTok, and run it in the first few blinks of an eye of owning that company? He's turned it into the place to go for conversations. And what is he promoting? Well, you guessed it, just general conversation, just the First Amendment essentially across Twitter. These are just the facts. And it's very, very interesting to see how the overall ecosystem of the website has changed and evolved to fit the new situation, because Lord only knows what we were used to. I used to have this joke in my stand-up comedy that I would say, when was the last time you heard a sane person say that they tweeted something? And I would go into this whole routine about how I have these followers on Twitter, and of course, we signed contracts to with each other to basically have allegiance for a lifetime and stuff like that, because I like to use Twitter for its purpose. It was like the punchline of the joke and stuff. It works better when you tell it in front of an audience, but at any point I would go up there and I would tell the audience that I had a Twitter. It was at just tell them my Twitter and stuff like that, and then they would all go and it was great. But at the time, nobody used Twitter. Just a few months ago when I was on the platform, I've been using Twitter for a lot. Over the course of the years, I use Twitter quite a bit. I've been very active on the platform. Even just like this past year, I've been exceptionally active on Twitter. And then, of course, when I heard of the acquisition that it was coming a few months ago, I started using Twitter like every single day alongside every other social media platform, just to be active on the platform. I linked my Twitter down below if any of you want to go on there and interact with Twitter. Twitter's great because it has so much of say in the public conversation, and the fact that such a prolific billionaire, the richest person in the world, has decided to go, join in the fray, throw his hat in the ring, and buy this platform, whether you like him or not, whether you like the ideas or not, whether you have an opinion which way center, whether the company is going to be successful or not, whatever your opinion is on it, it's still a far different situation than we're seeing unfolding right now. That's unprecedented. That's happening in social media. That's just a sort of re-evaluation of everything we know about social media, because Twitter is relatively new. This sort of acquisition is something that's so unprecedented. Imagine if Elon Musk bought YouTube next. Imagine if he ran YouTube with the same algorithms from 2012. Imagine if Elon Musk implemented some sort of monetization system into Twitter that's same as what we're used to with YouTubers being monetized. The whole thing could be reimagined. He could implement brand new video players and have long form content on Twitter. Twitter could really be in a position right now where it has so much attention on it, and the website has such a great infrastructure as far as the way that the company's been managed up until this point. And AOC actually had a really great tweet too, which Elon Musk responded to, where she was saying that the Twitter company is a good company. Twitter is a great platform. For all intents and purposes, Twitter is awesome, and Twitter has been really good force for good in the world, in all of its forms, even in its worst days, even in when censorship was rampant on Twitter and it was mismanaged and all this sort of stuff. It comes with the territory, especially with being a brand new thing. And I'm sure Elon Musk will bring in the edit button, and I'm sure that he's going to implement a lot of these different things, and he's going to completely turn Twitter into a competitive force that's going to cause a complete reevaluation to happen on all levels of social media. And the shockwaves have already been felt by YouTube and stuff like that. And this is a thing that should be celebrated. I mean, Elon Musk just blew into the scene. He banned H3H3, who was just a disgusting YouTuber with a bunch of disgusting opinions, who was celebrating people getting banned, which is something that's just reprehensible, something that nobody should ever do. Nobody who has any right mind or good intentions for anybody else should ever celebrate another person having their social media account deleted unless that person like did something extremely bad. But the type of thing that H3H3 was doing was just reprehensible. The way that he was using his Twitter to basically just celebrate people, just, basically just giving people, kicking people in the, well, they were already down in the mud. So Elon Musk just sort of blew in on the scene, corrected that, just because H3H3 made a bad joke by impersonating Elon Musk, just made a bad joke. So headline right there, H3H3 banned on Twitter for making a bad Elon Musk joke. Boom. Elon Musk just been shooting them from the hip, just everything involving the information superhighways, just spitting out news headline after news headline involving the social media platform, which was already at the front and center of all these different things. But now the website and the platform itself is being referenced by itself, and just this like growing ecosystem of all these different ideas. It's amazing to see it spiral and go viral out of control. I wonder, this is a long shot, but perhaps Elon Musk might manage Twitter to the point where Twitter has more search volume. If you go on Google Trends and you type in the word Google and you're on Google Trends, right, and then it shows you the lifetime of amount of searches for Google Trends worldwide, and then you filter for that day. I bet one day Twitter will have more value on Google Trends than the search term for Google itself will. Right now, it's incomparable. I mean, Google dwarfs Twitter, but the fact of the matter is that Twitter is such a great platform for engaging, in the public conversation, and it is a great platform, that was made by the people who came before, the acquisition of Twitter, and the original philosophy of, that sort of information being able to be transmitted around the internet and people being able to have their opinions and refine their sense of humor and stuff like that. I mean, those are all really great things that are going to be making a huge difference so regardless of what your opinion is. And, there's people who've been going viral for saying that they don't like Elon Musk. I mean, there is some sort of irony in the people who tweet, hashtag Elon Musk bad or whatever. These people who go on there and then, they want to drag Elon Musk's name through the mud on Twitter. But guess what, buddy? You're using Twitter, and you're having a great time, with your viral tweet about Elon Musk. And, you look at your tweet and you see that it's doing good. You get that dopamine, receptors in your brain start going off, telling you that, you should feel happy with yourself because of an Elon Musk post that you made. I mean, there is some irony in that, especially when the post is something negative about him, the tech billionaire who's trying to take people to Mars, and at the same time just decides, I remember one time Elon Musk even had a tweet that said that he does most of his tweeting while he's in the bathroom. He said that he did Elon Musk one time tweeted saying that he does most of his tweets in the bathroom. I bet he bought Twitter in the bathroom. Here's my theory. I think that when he tweeted that he was going to buy Twitter, he knew that would up the stock. So my theory is that he bought Twitter stock, tweeted that he was going to buy the company, and then when he did that, the price of the stock went up, and then so he probably sold when the stock was high, and then when all that controversy happened about him not going to buy the company happened, the stock went down, and I bet that's when he bought more of the stock. And I'm pretty sure that he probably already recuperated the money that that big number, that billions of dollars that they say that Elon bought the platform for. I think that he's pretty much made that money back using the whole just back end process of just all the money, all the monetization of Twitter as a platform. I mean, that's the one thing that people fail to overlook when they talk about Twitter as a platform and it going operating under, or lack thereof, or any of the different situations. It's the fact that, think about how much money is actually just made through monetization of just general sharing of links on Twitter, for one, just the proliferation of information, driving active internet users to different parts of the internet. I mean, all these different things are really core to, you can't even quantify just traffic going into and from the website, and the amount of monetization that goes on, just in terms of people buying websites that they've, buying products on websites that were linked to from Twitter, or, just anything that happens in that overall ecosystem of, information sharing and the information superhighway, man, the cyberspace and all that crap. So you look at it, you look at the amount of money that he bought to get into it, but it's like, bro, like, he just bought the vehicle, but we haven't even seen him drive it yet. Just the fact that he's now in the driver's seat of this just behemoth of power that exists online, that has the capability of just pretty much controlling the entire information superstructure of how everybody communicates across all these different levels of human communication, man, in general. It's some pretty wild stuff, just to say the least. While we watch just this experiment going over, and then in the background we see like Kanye buying his social media platforms, and people forget that Kanye is a billionaire as well. So what all that equates to is, just in the West alone, just from this humble Western perspective of a person who lives in the United States, I see two billionaires, two very prolific celebrities, acquiring social media platforms, albeit Elon Musk buying, a blue chip, just to make the joke, Twitter being like a blue chip social media platform, and then the one that Kanye bought is sort of like a penny stock sort of social media platform. But it's interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see how that all advances forward while different social media platforms rise up, new ones are created. But I definitely think that it should be put out there that, these new algorithms, this old vision of the internet, it's really great to see. It is a digital renaissance. It's a total revisiting of that old 2012 version of YouTube that someone like H3H3 I think abandoned, and it's going to be making a really big impact on the overall ecosystem of how people are able to think and operate online, as far as these things continue to develop. And then when you see how Elon has been innovating on the way that things go viral on the platform, it looks like as if he's on track right now to eventually not only monetize the entire platform, but the other thing that Elon's going to do, I think, is he's going to make it so that the algorithms don't promote the mob mentality as much, or in the same fashion that we once saw it. I saw this tweet from Elon saying that people will still be able to post whatever content they want on there, but it will just exist as sort of a standalone page, and people will need to search directly for it or link directly to it, which I think is a really great innovation on the website. Not, don't get me wrong, that is awesome, because things getting viral for no apparent reason, is something that it could be critiqued, or that internet traffic could be put into a more useful, relevant capacity, and it does service, right and true, is sort of a revisiting of what those algorithms do on these social media platforms, and how they operate in our day-to-day lives and stuff like that. And then when you consider the fact that the interface that we have with these different platforms is going to basically create the superstructure of the information feedback loops that are then going to be inherited by the next generation of internet users who start using these platforms. I mean, you think about people who are in college now using Twitter. It's great to see. I was in college, in the early the early 2010s, 20 teens, was when I was in college. It was interesting to see back then because we had Twitter and it was a new thing back then. Everybody was on Twitter and we were using it for its purpose. I encourage people to use Twitter. You all should make Twitter accounts. I linked my Twitter down below. I think that we should all start using these platforms because you can have a voice. You could respond to these different announcements that are made by the different entities of power within the information superhighway. And you could share out your opinion too. You can just tweet whatever you want. It is really great. And it's interesting to see this whole reassessment of how all these different things are sort of coming together. And I'd really, really like to see a similar thing happen to a site like YouTube, where maybe they could move back to that 2012 algorithms of YouTube. The type of algorithms that got PewDiePie to be the number one most subscribed YouTuber. Really, the only reason why Mr. Beast is the number one subscribed YouTuber right now is because the algorithms changed. If the algorithms were allowed to stay the way that they were, then PewDiePie would have easily been he would have had hundreds of millions, dude, back then. Do you know how quickly PewDiePie was growing in subscribers back in the day? And it was just algorithms and throttling and traffic and Jimmy Kimmel spam. All that stuff is what contributed to the internet being the way that it is today. So it's really nice to just see things being shaken up, for better or for worse, whatever your opinions are on it. I just like to see things happening. I'm interested that there's blood in the water. I'm interested in seeing how a lot of these different things are going to affect it. Bitcoin is so cheap right now, dude. It is such a great time to be alive and using the internet right now. God bless everybody out there. I hope you all have a good day, and I will, thanks for watching all the way to the end. Share this out if you think that my sentiments were interesting, refreshing, or beneficial, or if you just like my Fortnite game footage. Goodbye, and subscribe.